Hi there and welcome to This Week in F1. First up, shout out to the 8 Travels YouTube channel who made it possible for us to stream the Red Bull car launch. Yeah, thanks a lot mate, appreciate it. Please go and check out his vlogs as well, they're good stuff. But you're here to watch some Formula 1 news, so first up, Aero worries for the little horsies. That's what Mr. Leo Turini, an Italian journalist, says. Ferrari finished last season sweetly, kicking my beloved papayas to the curb in the fight for third. But things may not be going to plan so far this time round. It's level playing field in 22 of course because of the rule changes, but Mr. Turini may have some inside info we don't, because he says, but some veiled doubts remain about certain innovative solutions in the field of aerodynamics. Mr. Turini also said, you have to be careful with expectations. Interesting, he feels more confident on the engine front though, claiming that the little horsies may have caught up to Red Bull and Mercedes in terms of raw power. How credible is this guy? He seems pretty credible according to the vlogs I read, but I haven't had a coffee with the Italian stallion making these claims, but they sure are interesting to note. Max was one lap from losing the title. And that of course is according to Jos's boy himself. Now we're all sick of discussing the last race of last season, but now Super Max has himself made this interesting revelation. Apparently the Maxter was suffering from cramps in his legs in the final race, claiming, I tried to be really on it with the restart, it was all working well until I crossed the line and started to feel cramp in my leg. It's one of the most painful things that can happen because you're going full throttle for a long time. You feel the muscle clenching and becoming like a tennis ball. It was completely done. One more lap and I couldn't have finished the race like that. Hindsight being 2020 and all, we'll never know how accurate this really is. But I bet you Lewis Hamilton would have liked a lap longer to find out. Formula 1 to drop taking the knee. For some time now Formula 1 has had drivers taking the knee or doing something else to show solidarity in the fight against racism before races. Now I guess controversially this will no longer be the case. F1 bigwig Stefano Domenicali said, I think that the gesture has been already important for the ones that believed that it was an important gesture. We need to respect everyone as always, but now is the time to move on and take some other action. Lando signs till 2025. After last season, I'm pretty sure this kid is indeed Chuck Norris's grandson. He almost single-handedly for the first half of the season kept McLaren in the fight for third. And now, great news for McLaren fans, he has renewed his contract until the end of the 2025 season. The man himself had the following to say, I'm extremely happy, it's a big part of my career, and life ticked off. And to stay in F1 for another 4 years is pretty amazing from my side. Norris has been at McLaren since 2019, which means pretty much since birth for him, but has had by a long way his best season last year, beating very fast Colgate model Daniel Ricciardo by 45 points. Team principal Andrea Seidel said, probably with a huge Ricciardo-like smile on his face, we strongly believe in the talent of Lando, believing that he can definitely be a key element of achieving these targets that we are having. Okunta expects points. Okay then, while probably suffering greatly trying not to drop 76 F-bombs in the statement, Mr. Gunther Steiner has said that the expectation is just to be able to fight for points and fight with the other drivers who are in Formula 1. Interesting that the Steinster would expect points since their 2021 car was not good, being the slowest on the grid all season and famously never having been developed. Their drivers have now gotten rid of the rookie tags and more will be expected of them. What I see is we have good cars. For example, in 18 and even in 16 and 17, for a new team we had pretty good cars, you know. So I just see similarities to that time, said Steiner as well. High hopes, and of course we are also waiting with held breath for Schumacher vs Mazepin Season 2. The two had some intense battles last year, and while it seems that Mick should have Daddy's Rubel's number, you never know. Strange things happen, unlikely as they may be. Thought for the week. Isaiah 44 verse 1-5. But now my dear saved servant, listen, yes you, my personal choice. God who made you has something to say to you. The God who formed you in the womb wants to help you. Don't be afraid, dear servant, the one I chose. For I will pour water on the thirsty ground and send streams coursing through the parched earth. I will pour my spirit unto your descendants and my blessing unto your children. They shall sprout like grass on the prairie, like willows alongside the creeks. The one will say, I'm God's, the other will go by the name Jacob. The one will write on his hand God's property and be proud to be called Israel. There are blessings when you serve the Lord. And I think that if you know there are blessings in serving the Lord, you're an extra kind of special if you don't want it, aren't you? Leaving you with some memes. Silly season is drawing to a close, the cars are getting launched, and pretty soon the 22 season will be underway. I can't wait. Have a good week. God bless. Goodbye.